I believe that it is the responsibility of every parent to basically start making their children aware of money and aware of financial markets and aware of debt and how these things operate. I believe that it is a travesty that the vast majority of young people come out of elementary school and even college and even graduate programs without understanding financial markets and how money operates. All right, this is a travesty. It is not, it is by design. All right, it is not a mistake that it's done. All right, because when you keep a nation relatively ignorant about money and financial markets, the powers that be or the governments can basically do things that would ordinarily cause an uproar amongst a more educated group of citizens. And so a government has a greater degree of freedom, all right, to do what it wants when its masses is not that educated about, especially money. And so I believe that if, for instance, most Americans understood that when you print $9 trillion of extra dollars, that you rob me of my time, my effort, and my very life, that I paid the price for that because the dollar I earned today is now worth 50 cents. So I have to now work twice as long and twice as hard to buy the same thing that I used to be able to buy by putting in half the time. So you take time away from me. And whenever you take a person's time away from them, that means they're a slave. And that's what a slave is. A slave gives 100% of his time, efforts, and his fruits of labor to someone else. Well, if your dollar has been cut in half, you've just given half of your time away. So you've become half of a slave. And I think that if more people understood this, right, from a young age, they would cause uproars, and politicians would not be able to, at the stroke of a pen, do these things. All right. But when you keep a nation relatively uneducated about these things and the impact that it has on your everyday life, all right, you're able to do these things which benefit the 1-2% of life and hurts the 98%. All right. That's right. Yes, a poorly educated society ruled by those keeping knowledge to themselves are taken advantage of. Absolutely. And guys, we have nothing but historical precedent after historical precedent after historical precedents of centralized knowledge. All right. What the internet has done is broken the chain of centralized knowledge, something that's been in existence for hundreds, if not thousands of years. At one time, knowledge was held closely by the church, and the church was against, right? Against their closely held knowledge being available to the masses. All right. To completely keep their control under lock, they kept knowledge under lock. And this is why the church fought the printing press with so much fervor, because the printing press was an technology that had the potential of decentralizing knowledge. All right. And so the decentralization of knowledge began to really take hold with the printing press. That now, instead of a priest spending 6 months writing another copy of a book, the printing press would print the copy like this, multiple copies, make them widely available. That's now decentralizing knowledge. And that was a very important pivotal point in our evolution. Right? And then the internet came along to completely decentralize information and knowledge. And today, with a cell phone, I can hold just as many books as some of the largest libraries in the entire world. And that's the complete cycle of decentralization of information and knowledge. And this is the same thing that's happened with the access to the financial system, which was basically only reserved for a few. And so everything from policies like redlining and basically saying, no, accredited investor, you can't gain access to these opportunities unless you're an accredited investor. You can't have this unless you're a college degree person or this or that, this color, that color, live over here, live there, from this country. You can't gain access to SWIFT or the financial system that we've created. All of this is centralized. And what's Bitcoin come to do? To completely blow all of that, just like the printing press, just like the internet. It's going to take money and blow it wide open and make it available to everyone. Do you know that a Bitcoin wallet is absolutely free to 8 billion people on planet Earth? It's absolutely free. It doesn't ask you what color you're from. It doesn't what color you are, where you come from, what your last name is. Bitcoin wallets are free. You can do a service for someone, like fix their freaking roof, all right? Or sweep their yard, sweep the leaves off of their yard and say, listen, pay me in Bitcoin. And boom, now you've got some Satoshis. And no one can stop that. There's nothing centralized. You didn't fill out documents, right? You didn't have to get approved. Do you understand? There's no one controlling your account, and there's no one that can tell you what you can do with that Bitcoin that you earned. You can spend it anywhere or transfer it with someone else for something of value that they have. And so Bitcoin's come into this world to do what the printing press has done, to do what the internet has done for information and knowledge. It is now the internet of money. It is going to decentralize money. All right. And this is why you need to get off zero today. Today. Like, if you don't have a few Satoshis right now, if you don't have Bitcoin right now, I'm telling you, you are falling behind. Get freaking off zero. I don't care if it's $1, $5, start. All right. Because you can look back today and see the companies that didn't believe that the internet was a thing, the companies that called the internet a fad, the companies that said that the internet was just for porn sites and criminals. All right. Where are they today? Where are they today? Guys, do you know that in the year 2000, I don't know how old you were in the year 2000, but in the year 2000, guys, all right, in the year 2000, this is crazy, that I saw this on Twitter, that the Palm Pilot, I don't know if you guys remember the Palm Pilot. The Palm Pilot was worth more than Apple, and was worth more than Apple at the time. It was, while Google had not yet come public, Google did have a value. It was worth more than Apple and Google at the same time. And when's the last time you've seen a Palm Pilot? All right. When you don't embrace, all right, when you don't embrace the new disruptive thing that decentralizes what it's disrupting, because that's what Apple did. It decentralized what was being centralized by things like Palm Pilots and things of that nature, and it brought disruption and if you don't adopt these things, right, you're gonna become the Palm Pilots of the world. All right, and you've got to be open-minded enough to embrace these things.